The first time you used a foreign language. Jan 2016. Describe the first time you used a foreign language to communicate. You should say what the situation was, where you were, who you communicated with, and explain why you used a foreign language to communicate on this occasion. Answer: I have been learning English for a long time, but I haven't had many chances to practice speaking English with native speakers. To the best of my recollection, the first time I used it was on Christmas Eve 3 years ago. At that time, I was hanging out with my friends. Suddenly, a foreigner came up to me and asked for directions to a supermarket. Honestly, he spoke too quickly for me to catch everything. But after he repeated his words, I finally understood and showed him the way to the nearest supermarket. I used body language a lot to explain the directions to him, since I didn't speak English well then. After that, he said thank you to me and headed for the supermarket. I realized that English plays an important role in our life, despite the fact that we don't live in English-speaking countries. It is spoken globally and it's becoming the dominant language. Therefore, I have been trying to practice speaking English daily, so that I can have a good command of this language, and I can talk confidently with foreigners, whatever the topic of conversation. Vocabulary. To the best of my recollection. Expression. If I remember correctly. Example: I was not present at that meeting. To the best of my recollection. Hanging out. Phrasal verb. Spending a lot of time in a particular place but doing no special activity. Example: my friends and I enjoy hanging out at our local coffee shop, just chatting and enjoying a coffee. Came up to. Phrasal verb. Approached. Example: the manager came up to me and shook my hand. Catch everything. Expression: hear or understand everything that he said. Example: at the train station it was too noisy to hear all the information clearly, and I was unable to catch everything. Body language. Noun. The way that you show what you feel or think by moving your body. Example: sometimes our teacher uses body language, not words, to help to communicate an idea. Headed for. Phrasal verb. Moved in a particular direction. Example: after the show finished, everyone headed for the exits. Have a good command of. Expression: have a good knowledge of something. Example: people who apply for this job must have a good command of English in order to communicate with our American customers.